Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on my YouTube channel. And for today's video, I wanted to do a quick review of the Blade King series by Ruth Stilling, which she is a self-published author, and I discovered her on, I don't know if it was TikTok or Amazon. I know I bought all her books on Amazon, but I can't remember where I discovered her. It might have been TikTok with somebody recommending some more hockey romance series, because that's my addiction lately, is hockey romance. So I thought I would do a quick review of each book, and I won't go into too much detail. If you want more detailed reviews of each book, let me know in the comments down below, and I will do that. So she has two hockey romance series that I know of. The Blade King, which I fully finished. She also has the Seattle Scorpion series, which the first book in the Seattle Scorpion series is actually the love story of Jack Morgan's mother and stepfather. So you can read that one first if you want, because then you'll understand the relationship that his stepfather and mother have. But you don't have to. I didn't even know that it existed, that's what that story was about until after I finished this whole series. So I don't think you have to read it first, but it can be fun to read it first, because then you'll read her kids' love story, which this is Jack Morgan, by the way. So this is Jack Morgan, and I don't remember her last name. Let me see. And Kendra Hart. Oh yeah, so Jack Morgan and Kendra Hart. This one has one of my favorite tropes of all time, which is forced proximity. And this is also his former, I think he was former friends, ex or something. I don't even know if, it's his teammate's ex. So that's also another trope, if that's something you like. But forced proximity is one of my favorite tropes. I would give this one a solid 4.5 to 5-star book. I truly did enjoy it. And he is kind of a rookie on the team. He's in his first, I think 2 to 3 seasons on the New York Kings, or New York Blade Kings. So yeah, that's this one. Truly enjoyed it. I love forced proximity when they live together. So she ends up moving into his place because her place, there's water damage, I think. So that's why she moves in with him. And yeah, I love that. And he's kind of always wanted her since college. But then she was with somebody else. And then when she moved in, she had recently broken up and all that stuff with her. When she had recently broken up with her boyfriend, who is one of his teammates on his team. And yeah, it was such a good book. Truly enjoyed it. And also love supporting self-published authors. I think that's great, because a lot of self-published authors create great series. We have The Total Shutdown, which follows, let me try to remember his first name. Oh, really? Sawyer something. Don't remember his last name right now. But Sawyer, he is the captain of the Blade Kings. And then Collins, who is somebody who he sees in a bar when he's out with all of his teammates and their significant others. And one of the teammates' significant others, I believe it's actually Kendra, who is in the washroom and comes out with Collins. And because they walk out, she wants to go back home, but her phone died, so she's not able to get an Uber. So Kendra's hey, does anybody have a phone that she can borrow to request an Uber? And then Jack Morgan ends up being the one that offers his phone, but he's kind of instantly interested in her. And he asks her oh, I can drive you home, and she says no, and she kind of keeps rejecting him. But yeah, he is a widowed single father who is still very close to his in-laws. So you have that trope, which I am a sucker for a single father trope. I think it's great. It's obviously part of what scares her away from him, because she doesn't feel like she could be everything needed, and she doesn't want to start something and then they break up and then it really affects his kid. So I think that's a really mature take to it. This one I would say probably a solid 4 stars. It wasn't my favorite as this one, but it is still a really enjoyable book. And if you like the single father trope, totally go for this one. And then this one was probably my favorite in the entire series. This is Shots Fired. This follows Darcy, who is the sister to Jack Morgan, and what is his name? Archer. I don't remember his last name. Really bad at remembering last names. Yeah, so this follows Darcy and Archer. So basically, Darcy, so Jack Morgan and his mom and his sister, they're British. They come from the UK. They moved here with their father, which you learn about that in the first book in the Seattle Scorpion series. So they moved to Seattle with his father for like his father runs like wealth management stuff, I think, and so he moves here, and then his parents divorce here because his mother's really unhappy. So Jack Morgan ends up staying here and staying in Seattle with his mother here, whereas Darcy ends up going back after the 2-year period with her father to the UK. So she comes back and forth like to visit every once in a while, and Archer, who is the teammate to Jack Morgan, has kind of like always been interested in her, but he's like a playboy, and so he knows he has to like stay away from her because it's his teammate's sister. But eventually they decide to have a friends with benefit agreement, because she decides that she's going to move here to the UK because she broke up with her long-term boyfriend that she was with in the UK, and she decides she's going to move here because she wants to be here with her mother and her brother, and so she finds a job here, an apartment, moves here, and kind of notices they kind of like have a little interest in each other. So they decide to have a friends with benefit arrangement because he's like, as long as I get to be around her. He obviously wants more than a friends with benefit arrangement, but she's kind of like not really into that after coming out of a long-term relationship. She just sort of wants to have fun. And so he's like, well, whatever chance I get to be with her, I will take that. So then he does that, and it turns out that she got sick. He cared for her. They still had their friends with benefit arrangement after she got sick, but that kind of messed up with her birth control, and she didn't know that. So there is the accidental pregnancy trope, which this is only the second accidental pregnancy trope book I've read, but I did quite enjoy it. So she's like super nervous to like tell him, and then she tells him, and he's like, "This is the best news ever." And she was like, kind of like, "What?" She was like, "I just wanted to tell you, and then to be stuck being like a single mom. Like, I was not expecting that." So he like is, now that she's pregnant, is like convincing her like to like fall in love with him and all of that stuff, and he's just like super caring for her and super like, I don't know, this was just like literally my favorite. Even though he is a reformed playboy, the minute he like set eyes on her like all those years ago when she visited, and he was immediately like attracted to her, he just like was like, no, I'm no longer a playboy. And they end up hiding the pregnancy and the friends with benefit arrangement from her brother because her brother would be really pissed. And then because she ends up learning that like she's on a work visa, and if she's not working, she might not be able to like stay here in the US, and she wants to stay here. So they're trying to figure out a way for her to be able to stay here. Like maybe she'll still have a job contract after she gives birth, like she'll still have a job, so maybe that way. But he's like, wait, what if we get married? That's like the easiest way. So they end up getting married and also hiding that from her brother until they're coming back from Florida where they got married, and see her brother in the airport, and he's like, what the F is going on? But honestly, it's such a good book. I would say this one is a solid 5 stars. 100% my favorite in the series. And then we have the last one, which is Full Tilt, which follows Tommy Schneider, who we see a little bit of his awful father in the Seattle Scorpion series. In the first book, we see what his father did. So this follows Tommy Schneider, who is the son of Alex Schneider, an awful player, and Jenna. I don't remember her last name, but the chapter says that her name is Jenna. Oh yeah, she is the best friend and teammate to Kendra Hart, who is the FMC in the first book, because Kendra Hart is a soccer player, and I believe she is the goalie, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, she is the goalie for their hockey team, which I don't remember the name of right now. And so I'm trying to remember their dynamic. Oh yeah. He is kind of like, sort of like instantly, like, I think, is he instantly? Oh yeah, her name's Jenna Miller, sorry. Oh yeah, so she kind of like hates him because of his personality, and because he tries to play like his dad, and his dad was a very, very violent, all about the fight type of hockey player. Like his father literally almost killed somebody. And so she just kind of like hates him, and everybody on like the team uh on the Blade Kings team hates him because of like the way he plays. But he kind of like has some sort of like attraction to her, even though she hates his guts and he's like typically more like playboy style. But they end up as well doing sort of like a friend with benefit arrangement and like slowly falling in love with each other. And he kind of changes his personality for her, like the way he reacts with her and to her is slightly different than everybody else. But eventually he shifts the kind of player he is towards the end of the book, and he ends up just being a less violent player and truly more about the game, and kind of gets to be friends with his teammates, which is like kind of cool to see the change in his personality. And he decides that he's no longer going to play under his estranged father's last name, which is Schneider. He's going to play under I don't remember the last name that he ended up deciding to play under, but he ended up deciding to play under his mother's last name instead of his father. And like he's going to make his own way in the NHL and make a name for himself in a better way that is so separate from his violent father. And at the end of the book, he gets hit. This is like not too long after he changes his personality, like on the ice, and is like less violent. When they're playing against another team, I forget what team, somebody hits him so bad that he has such a bad brain injury that he has to be put in medically induced coma. And that was like so sad. I was like, no, please don't die. But I knew he wasn't gonna die because it's romance, so it's gonna be a happily ever after. But yeah, this one was probably my least favorite book. I would still give it like, I think a solid like 4 stars, but the whole series was really good. For me, like a series that had like 5-star books with some 4-star, anywhere between 4 to like 5-star books in a series makes it really good. I would say overall it's like a 4.5-star series. I truly did enjoy it, and it's great to support self-published authors because really they don't have the same advantage as traditionally published authors, so supporting them and buying their books is great. And this was such a good series that I bought the Seattle Scorpion series that I am halfway through. I finished the first 2 books. There's 2 more books, and there is a 5th book in this series coming out the end of this month, Within Range. So that one will be I will be buying that one when it comes out. So obviously paperback, so I have to wait till it's actually out to be able to purchase it. But yeah, so excited to read the 5th book in this series. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments down below. You can follow me at PlanaGoAmy on Instagram, TikTok, and Thread. You can also follow my digital hockey romance book club at Romancing the Ice on Instagram. So I'm going to switch to having hopefully consistently 3 videos a week, so you'll see them Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, all around like 9 a.m. ish as when they'll be coming out, and they're all going to be book related, so for right now. So you'll get more videos and more content from me, and you'll also find the same content on all of my other socials. Bye!